What we're going to do now is just have a look, and you'll remember that exercise that we done last night around the state of te reo Māori at a very high level. What we're going to do now is have a look at the groups that you guys intend to work with and the state of the reo, not just in terms of language capability, the people who are able to speak, but certainly the people also that want to learn, that want to speak, because that's big. There's no use pushing the cart up the hill if no one actually wants to, the cart up the hill at the end of the day. So how many of our whānau are actually saying they want to speak te reo Māori, are aware of some of the issues around te reo? So what I'm going to get you to do is I'm going to get you to write your name and your partner's name on your piece of paper. We're going to draw up a bit, you're going to need a lot of space. So, and then if you've got kids, write the kids' names down underneath.
Is this something I can do on my laptop?
Yep. Kapai. Now I'm going to get you to write the names of your siblings. Kapai, and if you've got nieces and nephews, add them in. You may not want to write everyone's names, so you can happy for you to do that however you need to. If it's numbers, if it's dots, if it's whatever. Kai a koe te tikanga. For those of you with moko, you may as well add them in too. Right, you better add the partner's whānau in, so add in their siblings, and then add in your parents. How much time have I got? Oh, nee. Oh, ka pai. Tata mutu, are we just about finished? Ka pai. What I want you to do, if you've got another colour pen, or you can underline in the same colour pen, if you were to build a language plan for your whānau, I want you to underline the people that you think might be involved in your language plan.
You mean the planning of it, or just part of those who are in it?
Part of those who are in it. Now what I want you to do is in another way, maybe circle the names of people that you believe are medium to high level of proficiency in te reo Māori. The next people I want you to find a way to highlight are those people in that group that you've identified that are your key, that might be the auntie that you know if she puts the call out, she can get everyone there. Those individuals that are your key connectors with the wider group of the whānau. They're the ones that they're the rallying point. Your next group of people I want you to identify are those people that might have an okay to low level of capacity in te reo Māori. They're learners of te reo. So remember, whānau, this is about us being totally honest about this is a real stock take of our whānau and the key people that we need to pull on board as language planners to help us affect some change. So I want you to look back over the list of people that you identified as medium to high proficiency, and I want you to identify those people within that group that are your top speakers in your whānau, that you think could handle total immersion very, very easily. And if you don't have them, kei te pai. What I'm going to get us to do, whānau, is I'm going to get you to break up into 3 groups, and we're going to share in terms of what your whānau looks like. And if I share as an example, this is what we're going to do in our groups. So if I look at my whānau, I've got one brother, and between us there are seven mokos of my mum and dad's. And then we've got mum and dad, and if I just take mum's side of the family, she's got 13 siblings, which makes 72 on mum's side of the whānau, including my uncles, aunties, my cousins and their kids, 72 of us. If I take the questions that I just asked you guys, there are 2 within the family that could handle total immersion very easily all the time. And then we've got a group of about 5 rangatahi that are being raised in te reo Māori, and I'd say they can cope in immersion, but whether or not they could play Pokemon Go in immersion, well, that's another question. And that's the real stock take of our whānau. Of the 72, there are 7 of us that have some level of capacity, and we've got 2 others that have just started to learn out of the 72. So that's that. If I look at main motivators in our whānau, our main connector passed away a few years ago, and we haven't been able to find another person in the whānau who's our rallying point, who can get us all together, because like most families, our family, we like to have a bit of rumble and bickering every now and then, and that's normal. I need to expect that in my whānau if I'm looking at how I'm going to rally them. The other thing I didn't ask you guys to identify is to identify the group of people on your piece of paper that live within 20 k's of your house. So for me, being based in Christchurch, it's my household, my family, my mum. So that's 6 of us. The other 66 people live in the North Island and in Australia. So really hard for me to motivate change beyond my direct household. And that's a reality check for me, but it also shows me what I can control and where I should be investing my time and efforts for biggest bang for buck for my real time. And that's just the reality of that. And so it's knowing where the strengths lie within your whānau so that you can start helping to pull your whānau together. And it's also about us being honest. Like how I said with my whānau, 72 of us, there's only 7 of us in Christchurch, so we've chosen to focus right there. Our ralliers within our whānau have gone. I don't know that I'm necessarily the right personality type to rally the whānau. That's me being honest about me. And so focusing on what I can control. So me asking you to write down and name your whānau isn't about me saying this is where I think you should focus. Absolutely not. where you focus your attention, and your language plan is completely at your discretion. Completely at your discretion. You need to be successful in your language plan. So work with people that you actually get on with. If you don't get on with Kazi down the road, kei te pai. You don't need to include them until you're ready to do that. It has to work for you. You can't force these relationships. So have a think about going forward. This afternoon you're going to be listening to people who are on the ground and doing language planning in different scenarios, just to start stimulating your thinking as to what you might do. But then you'll also get some time to do some more sharing with each other around the challenges that you're facing, but also to start thinking about what are some of the plans and what are some of the actions that you might be able to start putting in place to build a language plan for whoever it is that you want to build a language plan for. And it may be that you turn around to us and say, I don't want to build a language plan for anyone on my piece of paper. I want to build it for someone else. Well, kei te pai, hoki tērā. It's absolutely at your discretion as to what you're doing. But thank you, just wanted to say thank you for bearing with me, for opening up. It's not an easy process. Like last night, some of the messages are really, really hard to hear. But it's great now you know what you're working with. You know where some of the resource lies within your whānau that you can tap into. And hopefully it's starting to get you to think about where you might target your own language plan and who you might need to pull in to support you from your whānau to do that. Ka pai? Hoi anō, tēnei te mihi atu kia tātou. I rungi ngā āhuatanga me ngā mahi kua oti a tātou tēnei rā. Kia kaha, tēnei wikini. I've been summoned back to the whānau in Christchurch, so this is my last session with you guys this weekend, but kia kaha I roto I ngā mahi. Absolutely honoured and privileged to be able to stand and work with you guys this weekend, and just want to encourage you all on your language planning journey. And certainly all of us that are here this weekend are here to support you, so please feel free to reach out, ask questions, whether you think they're dumb or not, ask them. One of the main points of this whānau is about setting you guys up as a support network for each other. Because as you found when you were sharing your stories about your whānau, there are lots of other people who have similar stories. So they're going to be facing similar challenges. And it's easy if you can reach out and go, hey, what did you do with da-da-da-da-da? How did you do that? How did you manage to get that done? So use each other as a support network too, because you're going to be facing the same issues and the same challenges. Hoi anō, ka kore mutu aku mihi kia koutou, whakapeto ngoi, I maia te tai mai ki te whakarongo, ki te ata wānanga I ēnei tū kōrero, kia kaha I roto I ngā mihi.